Imagine a guy who's a retired professional kickboxer, made some money, appeared on reality TV, bought some actions, some Bitcoin, became a millionaire with his worthless pyramid skis, courses, built himself a cult of young impressionable boys that try to emulate him, his success, his lifestyle, and maybe make money like him someday. Spoiler alert, boy! You have to be a pimp. This bold, strapping young lad is Andrew Tate. This man needs no introduction, so I'll be brief. Born from humble beginnings, Andrew and his brother Tristan are the offsprings of this man, Emory Tate, a genius chess player whom Andrew remembers fondly and idolizes him. In 1997, Andrew's mother divorced Emory when she figured out he wasn't Bob Johnson and moved to Luton, a shithole near London. There, Andrew spent his adolescence mostly away from his father. He hated being poor and he got by selling drugs. Fish. At the age of 16, he began fighting and later became the best light heavyweight kickboxer in the world. When he realized that playing fair in life is for losers, he started small with his pimping business. First, pimping his girlfriend, at the time which only two actually agreed. Then, he lured more young impressionable girls into his video chat business. And I will let him talk about his methods.
You cannot get a girl to work for you having fun. So the recruitment process is the same as the PhD course. You message them on Instagram. I don't mention webcam until after I've had sex with the girl. If you're on dates and you're trying to mention it and shit, it just doesn't work. It puts them off. I'd never do that. That's disgusting. I'm not a whore. It's just not gonna work. You continue as normal, no mention of webcam. You fuck the girl. You cannot try and approach girls to do webcam. No one's gonna say yes. And any girl who does say yes is doing it, she doesn't like you, she doesn't know you, she doesn't love you. She's saying yes purely for money. So you don't want a girl who's in it for money. You want a girl who's in it to be with you. Then you start saying things like, oh yeah, but you're always working. I have to do some traveling and you can't come. I want to bring you with me. Traveling is a great one because the thing about this business is mobile. If you can find a good Airbnb with good internet, you can run it somewhere else. Why don't you work for me so we spend more time together? Work for you doing what? So you'll have a webcam business. Oh, I don't want to do that. So okay, I know you don't want to do that, but listen. Come, let's have a meeting. Let's just talk about it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Fine. But let me explain it to you properly. In fact, I'll bring one of the girls who works for me. You, the bottom bitch, the new girl, you go out for fucking a nice dinner. The bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear it from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl. Put both girls on camera together the first day so the new girl can sit there and just sit with the other girl and get drunk. Give them a bottle of vodka, put on the fucking chatterbait, 100 tokens per shot. The guys will send loads of money to get the girls drunk because guys like drunk girls. Girls will sit there, get drunk, have a great time. You say it's your new job now. You haven't go to work ever again. That's how you recruit girls. Do not recruit girls any other way.
Quite a gentleman, wouldn't you agree? Now I know video chat is a legal business, but that doesn't mean it's not disgusting, degenerate, and decadent. In his own words, Andrew is selling a dream, a fantasy to weak men.
If they were sitting there talking to an old guy, and the old guy would say, what kind of guys do you like? She'd say, I like young guys with good body and money. To some old fat dude.
Wow.
Why kill his dream?
But that's in the game.
Why kill his dream? I say, no, you need to say, I'm tired of these young guys messing me around. I want a guy who's been through that phase in his life, looking for something more stable. And if you get a young guy, you need to say, I'm tired of these old perverts hitting on me. Finally, I'm talking to a hot guy. So you need to play into the fantasy.
If you appear on webcam and you get your dick out, these women know you're a loser. I was about to say, they are losers. My customer base was losers. Like someone like me would never do that, but that's why I could run a business like this. If you have an interest in webcam girls, an interest in pornography, an interest in masturbation, you're never going to make money doing this. You have to be a guy like me or you're never going to pull it off.
The gayest thing you can do is buy pictures of a chick's tits. Every single girl who's making huge money on these platforms are doing it either for a man or by the direction of a man. So all the money you spend on girls online ends up going to a dude. It's effectively gay.
Well, at least he's honest. Tate claims that he's a right-wing conservative man, that he believes in freedom of speech and freedom of business, and has conservative values, and is openly critical of the woke progressive ideology that is very apparent in the Western world, openly critical of the LGBT community that push their agenda every June parading in the streets of every big city in the West, and pointing out that the same propaganda is taught to children in American schools. Yeah, Andrew, because being a pimp, it's a very conservative value. Yeah, very traditional of you to exploit the loneliness of men for money. Patriarch Daniel would be very proud of you. Those of you who don't know, this is the Patriarch of the Romanian Orthodox Church. He makes a mockery out of Christianity and the Romanian Orthodox Church, and he steals my money and commits tax fraud. What a fucking cunt. Andrew admires Romania for its natural beauty, for the beautiful girls here, for him to pimp out. He loves the Romanian culture, the food. He loves that Romania has strong roots and strong traditional values.
I've never seen, in my 5 years in Romania, a drunk girl. They drink, and they have fun. You'll never see one stumbling, you'll never see one fall over. Do you know why? Because it brings shame on the family. People will talk, and her father will kick her ass, so they won't do it. I was in a taxi and it was 3 a.m. and these 2 girls were walking. We were in the taxi and they were walking through the park. And I said, I still find it very strange that girls walk alone at night here, everywhere, and there's no problems. And the taxi driver said to me, yes, but they're Romanian girls. A Romanian wouldn't hurt a Romanian girl. As in, it's like, why would someone hurt her? Because we're all Romanians. That's completely gone from the West. So that was like mind-boggling to me. Romania has no economic prosperity, but they have morality. It's the most Christian country in the world, 99.9% Orthodox Christian. I've been on dates with 27-year-old women who have to be home at 10 o'clock because their father said so. Like, their families stick together. They have no social welfare programs, no disabled people programs, nothing, because the family look after them. But there's no old people home. Family looks after them. All these things we have in the West, they have none of it. It's just family. Family takes care of all those problems.
Praising the Orthodox Church, which he donates 20,000 euros on a monthly basis.
Because I live in an Orthodox Christian country, I go to the Orthodox Christian church. I donate $20,000 a month to the church in the country I live in. The church in Romania is very powerful, and I like having church friends.
Yeah, Andrew, fill Daniel's pockets because he's a very poor man in need. He also likes Romania for its corruption and the fact that you can take part in this corruption, unlike Western countries.
And also, I like Eastern Europe as a whole because corruption's far more accessible. I find it offensive that a police officer in England will stop me for speeding and then refuse to take a bribe and pretend that... No, but I'll tell you why. Because he'll sit there and go, no, this is the law and order, and pretend that the law means something and fuck me over. But if you're a billionaire or if you're Boris Johnson, you can go to Epstein's Island, you can fucking throw parties during COVID, you can do whatever the fuck you want, right? So the whole idea of law and order is a lie. The whole idea of it's bullshit. It's just about if you're high enough, you can throw it all away. I'd rather be in a society where if I'm in Prague and they stop me for speeding and they say, bro, you were speeding. Oh, here's $50. All right, cool. Bye. If corruption exists, which it does, let us all play. Why do only they get to play and I don't get to play?
What is freedom to you, Dave?
Freedom to me, it's like being able to do whatever you want.
Do you think you can do whatever you want in America?
No.
I live in Romania, right? Romania is not a free country, technically. Do you think I could get away with doing more here than I could do in America? If I were to get my shear on and drive at 200 miles an hour down the high street in the middle of the city, do you think I'd get in more trouble here or more trouble in America?
Probably in America, but it does depend who you are. There's plenty of people who have gotten away with things in America. It's like, how the fuck did they get away with that?
Correct. So this is the exact point. Every single system, all of them are corrupt. The judicial system's corrupt. The medical system is corrupt. The financial system's corrupt. It's all corrupt. It's all a matter of who you are. Now, in America, the game is limited to ultra billionaires who control the government, as you've said. In other countries, anyone with money and some basic social skills and some nice friends can play the game. If we're going to accept that every single system on the planet is corrupt, why would you live in a place where you cannot access the corruption? Does that make sense logically? Or would you rather live in a system where you can say, you know what, I am important enough within said society that if the police stop me, I can give them $10 and they'll fuck off?
Now, this is very odd. Andrew talked about his religious beliefs, stating that he was raised Christian, but in 2022, he converted to Islam, and now he's a Muslim. Perhaps to excuse the fact that he has 12 illegitimate children with different women, and so that he can appeal more to the Muslim audience. He also considers Christianity as a weak religion, and he also praises ISIS for fighting back against those who disrespect them. What a zogbot. That's very smart, Andrew. One small problem, if those Talibans in Afghanistan would see how haram your lifestyle is, they would shoot your bald ass. You can clearly see that Andrew is not a very honest man. He would change his stand on a whim if it suits his narrative or his pockets. He has huge gaps in his logic, behavior, and temperament. I wouldn't say that he suffers from bipolar disorder, but I think he is very driven by his emotion. Andrew, that is a very feminine trait. Also, smoking is a decadent trait. Flaunting your wealth, that is an insecurity trait. Things that you allegedly despise. Because you're a big, strong alpha male. You can see that this man is a walking oxymoron. Or you could say, oxymoron. King of comedy! And that's quite a shame because personally, I agree with many of his views. And yeah, the elites are corrupt, they enslave the common folk, the modern world is filled with weak men, but at the same time, he preys on their weakness. He exploits it. He even said it himself.
I had these guys selling their houses, life savings, loans, all of it to me. Give me it all.
Maybe it's a scam. Oh, maybe I scam you out of a Nando's. Oh no.
So I like to make money off the vices of the weak.
He just feeds his audience of young impressionable boys what they want to hear, selling them a pipe dream that one day they could be like him. Have money, fame, cars and women, preying on the very base, decadent nature of men and their desires. He sells the same standard that Hollywood had shoved down our throats for decades, the standard of a rich man with women, luxuries, and in his eyes, you are nothing if you don't have money like him. He's a rabid materialist, reflective of the very base and decadent society that he vehemently criticizes. He's a combination of Jordan Belfort and the Great Gatsby. On steroids! Literally! I mean, look at that trembolone pump over there, boy! Look at that anavar vascularity, boy! He's the very embodiment of a snake oil salesman. Selling a dream, a fantasy, fugazi. He's smart enough and charismatic enough to fool the average Joe. His masculine-based persona is just a facade. At the end of the day, he's just another snake oil influencer. He's not the top G. God. What a cringe thing to say about yourself. He's a poodle man, dressed like a princess, very well groomed. He's not based, he's not traditional, he's not religious. He spits in the face of God. His God is money. That's it. He's a greedy psychopath. And why do I say psychopath?
I don't even have to fuck you. Forget the sex part, that's a distraction. My dick can stay in my pants, I'll just start beating the shit out of you. How about that? We walk in the bedroom, I start kicking your ass. No sex. No sex involved. But you cry then.
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I fucking loved how much you hated it. Turned me on. Why am I like that? Why? I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get fucked by me. Would you rather me pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, or would you rather fuck? You didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to. That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this fucking planet. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't fucking pass out.
Whoa, chill out there, Ted Bundy. But hey, I give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, maybe it was a one-time thing.
I have to fuck her so she obeys me. I don't give a shit about having sex with beautiful women. I fuck them so they listen to me, so I can get what I actually want, which is not them. It's a means to an end. Every single Bond girl was exploited. That's exactly what I do. When I watch a Bond film and I see him basically pimp a bitch, to me that speaks to my heart. I've been there. I've done that. Anyone who's followed me long enough knows that I first made my $1 million with a webcam business. I have met beautiful women with a good personality and thought, she will make me money. I have to fuck this bitch. I don't want to have sex with her. I just need the money.
Whoa, chill out there, Patrick Bateman. This guy is so unhinged and so arrogant.
I'm not Romanian, but I certainly put Romania on the map. I don't feel like anyone talked about Romania ever. Ever.
No, bro, we were already on the map. These guys put us on the map, okay? So chill the fuck out, you didn't do shit. Andrew is a master at manipulation, and this reflects in his behavior. He clearly is very charismatic for impressionable girls and boys with a room temperature IQ, but still. What I truly like about him is that he's a great storyteller.
Let me tell you a little story, maybe none of you will laugh. When I was 16, there was this bitch
called Helen. She's a white girl. She was dating this fucking gangster. And I was talking to her in college, and then her boyfriend found out. So when I left college, him and 5 of his friends jumped me. So I walked out, and this guy goes, "Hey, Andrew." I was like, "Yeah, what?" And he threw a punch, but threw it like a cricket. He was a cricket player, and he threw it like a cricket overhand like thing. And I slipped it, and then like all of his friends jumped me, and I managed to like balk a few and run away, right? I got back into college, and I was fucking furious. And after a few seconds, I found Anthony. I said, "Anthony, bro, there's 5 of them that are some black guys." Like, "All right, fuck it." And we went out trying to find them, right? They left. But these 5 guys jumped me for this bitch. She's like, "I have to fuck this bitch because this guy now thinks he's something." So I'm talking to this girl still. I tell him, "Come again." Da, da, da. I knew he was gonna bring like 20 guys. So I had like my black friends, and we had this race war going on. Eventually, about 3 months later, I had a break between 12 and 4, but it was an hour walk each way to and from college. And I convinced her to walk back to my house. I'm with Helen. We're in my room, right? My mom ain't in. Everything's good. I'm kissing Helen, about to fuck Helen, and my phone starts ringing. And I'm like, tried to ignore it for 1 call, tried to ignore it for another call, tried to ignore it for a 3rd call. It gets weird. You can't just ignore the phone that won't stop ringing. So I'm with Helen in bed. I'm like, "Sorry, I have to answer this phone call. It's my mom." I'm like, "What, Mom, what?" She goes, I was supposed to meet my dad for a drink, and I just went to his apartment, and he's dead. Your granddad's dead." And I was like, "All right, I'll call you back." I put the phone down and just went back to kiss Helen, and she goes, "She just said your fucking granddad's dead, and you're just trying to kiss me." And I was like, "Well, bitch, he's dead now. What the fuck you want me to do? He's gone. He wants me to fuck you."
He knows what you need to do.
So I'm leaving. I was like, "No, granddad, no. Why now?" Never saw her again. That's the end of the story.
Say what you want about him, but when Andrew talks, everybody in the room listens. He knows how to command attention, how to command the room. He exudes confidence. He could say the most idiotic, stupid, retarded thing imaginable, and people would still listen to him. Since his arrest in Romania, he has toned it down quite a bit. He had that famous podcast on Twitter with Alex Jones, Elon Musk, and many more guys, where he almost talks like a different person prior to his arrest. He clearly has matured a little. Maybe the conversion to Islam and reading the Quran and the Bible had a role in it. Or maybe being locked in a Romanian jail is stormed out of his house in the middle of the night by the gendarmerie played a part in it as well. I also like that he sees through the bullshit of the mainstream media, and he attracts many haters with that, but even more followers. I liked how he stood his ground during the latest Piers Morgan interview about the Israel and Palestine war.
What is your view of this war?
I think when you call it a war, you're doing a disservice to the people who are having their limbs blown off by some of the most advanced technical weaponry on the planet. It is a genocide, and it is disgusting. And it doesn't matter which side of the political spectrum you fall on. When you observe a genocide in front of your very eyes, you should be disgusted.
Which side is waging genocide?
The Israelis are genociding the Palestinians, and you know it as well as everybody else does. That. Well, then it seems like your bosses are not allowing you to know it.
What do you think of what Hamas did on October the 7th?
Why are you starting the story in the middle,
I
Piers?
didn't. I just asked you about the wider war. I'm now asking you specifically about Hamas.
I cannot professionally answer that question without talking about the context that led up to October 7th.
Well, nothing, to my mind, justifies what happened on October the 7th.
Nothing justifies what happened before October the 7th, Piers. This is the exact point. So you're talking to a man, I don't know what answer you expect from me, because let's forget the fact that I'm a Muslim. You're talking to a man who is fighting oppression to the best of his ability because he believes that the people in charge of the world are enslaving us all, to the point where I detriment my own life. I end up in a jail cell because I'm speaking against oppression.
He clearly is a controversial figure.
Like me.
Attracting as many haters as followers. However, that doesn't excuse the fact that he did disgusting things to get on top. Still, he was and perhaps still is a virtual pimp. And with the latest allegations of human trafficking, and with him being still under investigation by DICOT, his future is anything but certain. Look, I understand why he is the way he is. I'm not a psychologist, but I think that not having a role model in his adolescence played a huge role in his development and his personality. I want to state that I do not hate Andrew Tate. Not one bit. I still don't approve of his methods of becoming a pimp to be a millionaire, but I understand, as he stated, you have to play dirty to get ahead in life, and I get it. The world is corrupt, decadent, greedy, and I understand why he did what he did. I still don't approve of it. But at the same time, I don't condemn him either. In this rotten world that we live in, it's understandable that characters such as Andrew Tate would appear. He's a product of our time, a product of our decadent times. And this says a lot more about our society than about him. If you stay this long, you're one of the smarter ones. This message is for Andrew. I doubt he'll ever get to see this video, but I'll say it. I'll try nonetheless. Andrew, just stop, man. Stop with the bullshit top G persona. It's very cringe. You're only appealing to teenage boys with mommy issues. No one will ever take you seriously. You're just like a porn star. Nice to look at, but no one will take you seriously. Stop flaunting your money, your wealth. Don't blow your money on cars, women, yachts, and other bullshit like that. That's just a poor person's mentality. You're just like a poor man, but with money. I don't know, build a hospital in Romania. God knows we really need that shit. That's what I would do if I had your money. But what do I know? I'm just a brokey, am I right? Right, Otto?